Okay, so today we're going deep, really deep, into Saleema Nawaz's Bone and Bread, and we've got this amazing review, 4.5 stars, to help us navigate, figure out why this book is, getting so much buzz.
Yeah, it's got like this incredible premise. Two sisters, Beena and Sadhana, right? Dealing with, well, you know, grief, being Punjabi in Montreal and trying to, I don't know, like find their place, belong.
And the reviewer is just, blown away by how it tackles these huge things like grief, identity, family, all that, and does it with real depth. It's not just surface level.
And the way Nawaz does it, through Beena's eyes, looking back after her sister's death, trying to piece together who Sadhana was, it's powerful stuff.
So we're not just talking plot here.
Yeah.
We're talking about the emotional core of these sisters' lives. The story, it jumps back and forth between the past and present, kind of slowly revealing their shared history, growing up Sikh Canadian, losing their parents, and figuring out who they are in a world that doesn't always, feel very welcoming.
And that's where, Nawaz's writing just shines. It's how she gets that sisterhood, that mix of, fierce loyalty, but also those inevitable rivalries, The review, it highlights that as being so central to the whole story.
It makes you think about your own, siblings, close friends that push and pull. How do you think Nawaz brings that dynamic to life? It really makes it jump off the page.
She nails it, right? It's not just about their relationship with each other, though. The review talks about how they're also balancing, their Punjabi roots with that pressure to fit in, especially being in Quebec.
It's that cultural duality, adding this whole other layer to their journeys, right? Beena, especially, she seems to really struggle with that, wanting to, embrace her heritage, but also feeling that pull to conform.
It's like, how much do we change ourselves to fit in, you
Yeah.
know? And what parts of who we are do we hold on to no matter what? It's a big question the novel brings up.
And the reviewer is
Yeah.
praising how these internal battles play out in their external lives too, like their careers, their relationships, everything.
It makes their story so relatable. It's like real life.
Talking about real, the descriptions of Montreal, the streets, their tiny apartment above a bagel shop, the reviewer raves about how vivid it all is.
Even their thoughts, their feelings, it's all brought to life with such detail. You're practically right there with them.
The book doesn't shy away from anything either. These characters, they're flawed, they make mistakes. The review loves that honesty, that realness.
It's what makes them so genuine, so human. And Binna's journey through grief, especially, it seems to have hit the reviewer hard.
I think it's because, well, stories about resilience, especially when it comes to loss, they're powerful, right? Seeing someone overcome adversity, it speaks to us.
Totally. It gives us hope. It reminds us that even when things are, really tough, we can heal, grow, find meaning.
It's not about forgetting, right? It's about learning to live with it, with the past.
Exactly. And the review points out how the novel handles grief so delicately. It's raw, it's emotional, but it never goes over the top.
No melodrama, just those quiet moments of reflection that are working through it all, trying to make sense of things.
Though the reviewer does say the pacing might feel a little slow for some, but it's intentional, It's about savoring those moments, letting the characters unfold.
It's about the journey, not just the destination, right?
Right. It's those small shifts in perspective, that gradual understanding.
By the end, it seems like Beena reaches a point of acceptance with her sister's death, her own past. Do you think that suggests finding yourself is more about coming to terms with where you've been than escaping it?
Hmm. That's a really good question. It definitely makes you rethink that idea that, self-discovery is about wiping the slate clean. Maybe it's more about owning those experiences, the good and the bad, and letting them shape you.
And maybe that's what makes Bone and Bread so powerful. It's set in Montreal, a city known for its blend of cultures, right? So does that setting amplify those themes of identity and belonging? Do you think the story would hit the same way if it was set somewhere else? Something to think about?
Definitely something to consider. It makes you want to dive right in and see how place and identity weave together in this story.
Exactly. And that's our deep dive into Bone and Bread. We'll be back next time with another fascinating look into the world of literature.
Until then, happy reading, everyone.